Hi, I'm Sophia, and welcome to BJJ with Sophia. We're going to look at some attacks from the triangle position when you can't actually get the triangle position submission. So, for so many of us, we're in a position where their arm is behind, your opponent's arm is behind, where you're getting stacked, and you can't actually finish the triangle. So, let's take a look at some combos here. So, we can get into the triangle anyway. It works. So I'm just going to do a hip escape, pummel my top knee in, straightening my leg, squaring up. All right, wonderful. Here is triangle position. All I'm looking for at this stage is one arm in and one arm out. I can fix the rest up. Now, in a perfect world, their arm is going to be across. We've done our pivot, held onto our shin and tied it up. Easy peasy, right? But quite often, that's not the case. So often they're hiding their arm here, wrapping it. So we're going to take a look at dealing with this situation. What I'm going to do is swing my hand in underneath and get my gable grip. I'm going to be moving my whole body to the side and keeping my elbow joined to my ribs. Now I get my gable grip. Now I want to pry his elbow away. And I'm using this very strong structure, okay? So here, this often breaks his grip or stops him from holding this position where I can then guide his arm into a cutting armbar. Now, Barry here has shorter arms, but we're going to imagine that I'm locking his hand into my neck, shoulder and neck, and moving into the cutting armbar. Now, we don't want to keep going from here and have our elbow joint on his elbow joint. We want to make our adjustments from here and then bring our hand back so the wrist, the blade of the muscle bony part here is right on his elbow joint, and we can push down and turn in to get the cutting armbar. Okay, now from here, what happens is that sometimes we miss trapping their arm. Okay, or they bend their arm and bring it in to avoid the cutting armbar, and then they lock their elbow in right on our hip down here. If we're wearing a gi, they will be holding onto our pant leg right here. Okay, so sometimes this can be tough to deal with as well. So let's take a look at this scenario. I want to go by the fingers and break the grip, pulling it forward. Bang, okay. And what I want to do is I want to wedge this elbow in and lock it in even more. I'm not going to try and bring his arm across. I'm not going to try and straighten his arm. It's an arm wrestle and a battle I don't want to deal with. So what we're going to do is bring our knees to our chest to lock in, wedge in the elbow even more. And I'm going to make a rainbow. See that? Passing his hand to the other side. Okay, and this often gets that shoulder lock because his elbow is wedged in and his hand is now the other side. Now, the beautiful thing about this is that it's great for wrist locks as well. There we go. And then the next step is if they are defending this, so they don't want to have that shoulder lock because their elbow is so bent, then they try to straighten their elbow, and that's when I'm going to move straight into straightening their arm, lifting my hips here, and keeping their palm facing up to complete the armbar. Okay, so it's a lovely combination, and you will get a submission one way or another, even though it might not actually be the traditional triangle. So let's look at this again. And we can get to triangle anyway. All right, so he's defending, swinging underneath. There we go. Moving into the cutting armbar, find that sweet spot, bang, wrists on his elbow, but he tries to bring his arm across, bending his arm to defend, so lodging that elbow in. Okay, cool. So I'm going to plant his elbow, lock it in by my hip, get his wrist, and paint that rainbow. Okay, and to really help lock that elbow in, I'm bringing my knees to my chest. There we go. So to defend this, they try to straighten their arm and bring that elbow out. So when I feel that, I give a bit of space for them to do that. And then make sure I turn his palm facing up and drive my hips to the roof to put on the armbar here. Now I find that the timing it's all very quick. So as soon as their arms straight, they're already tapping. You do not need to switch your leg to the other side to complete a more traditional armbar. And last but not least, if you do have your heart set on finishing the triangle from here, then here we go, feed it through, lock it in. All right, wedge beneath the chest, straightens. Oh, and that's when we can push the arm across and finish with the more traditional triangle. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed that combination with probably at least 5 different ways that you can finish someone from that triangle position, the one arm in and one arm out.